that guy, I'm not sure.
I will do my best to channel my inner Bashir.
You're already 3 puns short.
Bashir once entered a local newspaper's pun contest. He sent in 10 different puns, hoping at least one would win, but unfortunately, no pun in 10 did. Yes, Bashir is retiring after 40 years of teaching, but how can we properly honor this man? He's requested a bit of a cultural goodbye. You see, Bashir was born in Guyana, a country in South America. He immigrated to the U.S. when he was 13, and he remembers how they celebrate retiring teachers there. In Guyana, after 40 years of teaching, you earn the title of Guru Rasa. The principal springs for a huge feast for the entire staff, consisting of curry chicken, rice, roti, cassava, taro, plantains, and a traditional drink made from the bark of the mabi tree. All that to honor the retiree. Rachel and I couldn't quite give you that, but I hope the Maruchis was up. The retirement ceremony in Guyana consists of 2 parts. The first part is called the Anansi, which is the story of how the teacher came to their job. And the second part is called the Abides, which reminds us teachers that we're all in this together. So first, the Anansi. Bashir first started applying for a math position at Campo in the summer of 1974. He didn't get the job, and he was rejected many times again when he applied for the next decade. In 1985, though, Principal Walt Hoy called him and told him to come in to interview before a 25-member panel. You need to come to school and teach a calculus lesson, he said. Can you teach calculus? Bashir responded, well, I'm not entirely cal-clueless. And so the Edun puns began. Bashir drew upon his Common Core value of persistence. He taught a calculus lesson, and he finally got the job. Bashir has been a pillar of the Campo community for decades, and he is such a great teacher. I had him twice, and in this room there's others who have also learned from him. A lot of what I personally do in the classroom is actually modeled on him. He's dedicated to his craft every day of the year, even in these last final days. He makes tough concepts seem easy, he connects with all of his students in some way, and in turn, they really work hard for him. I'm right next door, and I often see him standing in the hallway, greeting each of his students at the door, and as they're coming in, all the students have smiles on their faces. The other day, he held a door for a clown. I thought it was a nice gesture. So what will he do when he retires? What will he do when he retires? Well, I asked him, and as he put it, there are a lot of household projects that my wife and I plan to work on. One may say that I am moving from common core to common chore. But when you ask him how he will spend his free time, everyone knows that he wants to do a lot of fishing. He knows that the best way to communicate with a fish is to drop them a line. His dad used to be a fisherman, but he got caught playing hooky. He told me about a big paddle sale at the fishing store. It was quite an ordeal. But anyway, even after 40 years of teaching, great math teachers never die. They just disintegrate. Did you know he was just offered a job as a cross-country truck driver for the delivery of Common Core materials? He will take the job, but I can't see him being in it for the long haul. And now, let's move on to the second portion of the ceremony. The Abides portion, which again was about no teacher being alone on this island, I suppose. So in that spirit, can I please have the math department and special guests come up here and perform a quick musical number?
I just have one thing to say to you all. Here we go. Campo, I say Campo. Career's done and I wanna go home.
He's done and he wants to go home.
Come, Mr. Walker, hire you my teacher. Come, Mr. Nickerson, get a numbers preacher.
And he wants to go home.
40 years of stand and deliver. Now it's time to fish in the river.
The river is long and the river is wide.
29 years of teaching at this school. Now it's time to swim in the big pool.
The pool is full and the pool is up high.
So goodbye to you, my Campolindo. My time is up and I really must go.
But she's done and he wants to go home. Yes, but she's done and he wants to go home.
Well, as they say, I've always gotten by with a little bit of help from my friends. I really mean that. Thank you. All right, so when I finally got the job in 1985 at Campolindo after trying, Petra forgot to mention I was actually rejected twice before the third time was a charm. A Muslim rejected me as well. Interesting. Anyhow, how happy am I? I'm as happy as a flea on a large dog to be here. Really, really happy. Annie was here with me back in 1985, right, Annie? She and I came together. And Bella was already here, and Lola was also here. No. When I told Lola that I've only had 4 years of teaching, she said, Bashir, you're just a baby. So, I see you guys are looking intently at me now. No wonder you're called my peers. So people are always asking me, Bashir, how did you know it was time to retire? 40 years and all. And I was telling people I was getting older and my back was going out more than I was. So now it's time to go. It's time to go. Actually, being up here is really terrible, hard for me. I'm not accustomed to being in front of a large group. I'm kind of a shy person. So I don't really like the limelight too much, but I do like the tangerine lights. Back in my old country, teachers have to stand up and give just a little bit of advice when they're leaving. So I just have a couple of things. You know, teaching you get so busy. How busy are you? You're busy, right? Raise your hand if you're really busy, especially this time of the year. You're really, really busy, right? You're probably as busy as a one-legged tap dancer, I'm sure. That's really busy. One piece of advice, when you get to be my age and you retire, Jamie, you were once my student. You still owe me 3 assignments. Never too late, Jamie. We can go back some time. Who else was my student in here? It was Jamie, Petro, and Mark. Stephanie. Yeah, 4 of you survived me. Thank you. Anyhow, in closing, I'd like to say, when you get to be my age and you retire, make sure you buy a plasma TV. You never know at my age when you need like a blood transfusion. As my friend Chris Maynard used to say, and he still says it to this day, and I think this is original with Chris, he always says, I retired, therefore I am. So that's good, Chris, please. And as Jamie once told me back in class, when he was 11th grade, I think it was, Jamie said, you know, Bashir, well, Mr. Eden at that time. It's kind of strange when you're Mr. Eden and you change to Bashir. Was that strange for you?
Yeah.
Jamie said, all the world's the stage, and if you put Bashir on it, he may never get off. So